How's it going, people? Sam and Slappy here, and this is your complete guide to the Death to the Dorgeshuun. So for this, you need to have completed the Lost Tribe, you need 23 agility and 23 thieving, and you need the ability to actually kill a level 42, and some kind of trash mobs on the side. Item-wise, you require a light source, a rope if you haven't entered the Lumbridge swamp dungeon, 2 full sets of hamm robes, and you need to use melee or mage for this. A spiny helm is kind of useful, not really needed though. And of course food. So to start this, you need to head to Lumbridge Castle and down into the cellar. And you want to head through the cave on the east side. And once you're through here, there'll be a little goblin wandering about by here. Just go ahead, right click him and follow, and he'll take you over to the goblin cave. So once you're at this little gobby cave, you want to look about for a bloke named Mistag, and if like me you play with high lighting, you can always turn this on to low and you should be able to see quite a lot clearer. But Mistag will be wandering around. Go ahead and talk to him and run through his chat, and then choose what is this favour, option 1. Then go ahead and accept the quest, and let's get started. So once you've got a bunch of options, just tell them to take you back over to Lumbridge Cellar. And this time you will find that Zanik is just casually wandering about in the Lumbridge Cellar, so make your way over to him and talk to the little fella. Well, I say fella, it's a bird actually, weirdly enough. So once you talk to her, go ahead and say yes, I'm whatever your name is. And then give her the hamm robes. She'll just simply take them off you. Just give her them. And if she doesn't take them, talk to her again, and then she will. Make sure you have the full sets, otherwise that won't work. Either way, once you finish talking to her, make your way up to the first floor, or second floor, of Lumbridge Castle. And speak to Duke Horatio, as we need to talk to this little fella. And once you're here, go ahead and choose the option I want to enter the city as well, which is option 1. So that's Duke Horatio done and dusted. Make your way out of Lumbridge Castle now, so head back downstairs and then head east. And as soon as you exit the front door of the castle, you'll have a small little cutscene with Zanik. So quickly spam through the chat. Same old, you'll get used to this. Once you finish that, head out of Lumbridge Castle itself. Just head a touch to your east and make sure you let Zanik follow you, as soon as you do need to talk to her just outside. So once you're around about this area, go ahead and talk to Zanik and run through the chat, and then just say follow me, option 4. Once you've done that, make your way to the north a touch, and there'll be men and women just randomly walking about. They have random names. Go ahead and talk to any one of them, and then run through their chat. Once you've done that, go ahead and talk to a second one just in case, as sometimes it doesn't acknowledge the fact you've actually talked to these NPCs. So talk to 2 just to be sure. 2 different people. Once you've done that, head east across the bridge to where the goblins are, and make sure Zanik is following you, or at least teleports on top of you, and give it a little second or 2 and Zanik will eventually start up a conversation with one of the goblins nearby. Quickly run through her chat, and that'll be this little section complete. So once you finish talking to the goblins, you now want to head over to the general store over in Lumbridge, so make your way west once again, and speak either to the manager or the assistant, doesn't really matter which one you talk to, and Zanik will have another little conversation with them, just spam through it. And in case you didn't know already, although I'm sure most of you do, you can just hold down the spacebar to go through chat quickly. So once you finish talking to him, he'll give you 2 options, no thanks and buy things. As soon as they come up, just walk away from him, no longer need to speak to him anymore. So head back outside the entrance of Lumbridge Castle and speak to the Lumbridge Sage, literally right outside the entrance. Run through his dialogue, and that'll be another one done. And that leaves us with the last part of this little section, is going into the church and speaking to Father Aruk. So once you're speaking to him, you'll have a couple of options. Start off by choosing option 1, what god did the Dorgeshuun worship? Then you want to choose what happened in the war. And then not all gods are bad. Which should be option 1, option 1, option 3. Once you've run through the dialogue with Father Aruk, just say bye. Option 3, then speak to Zanik. And say, oh mush, what's up with your forehead? Or I should say, what's up with that mark on your forehead? Alright. So once you've done that, you should have a cutscene with Juna. If for whatever reason it failed, it may very well be speaking to one of the man or the woman, just the regular NPCs. It's a bit finicky, some people have had some problems with it. Just talk to a bunch of them if it didn't pop up for you. And if you are really stuck, go ahead and check the quest interface in the game itself, and I'll tell you which part you missed out on. Either way, you'll see this little cutscene where Zanik will just be talking to Juna, and then goes into Tears of Guthix, drinks some dodgy blue stuff, and then gets a dodgy mark on her head. It's a mystery, we'll find out later. Either way, once that's done, that cutscene's ended, you'll now have a little ham-robed goblin following you about, and it's time to invade the ham hideout. So make your way up to your north, to the second bridge, and then head east. And literally just across the water, you will find this little dodgy well. Go ahead and right click on it and pick lock. Once you've done so, just simply climb down. Once you're in here, right click on any of these ham guards and talk to them. Quickly spam through his chat. And then simply say, okay, thanks. Once you've done so, you now want to head to the southernmost room. Or the central southern room, I should say. And inside you will find Johannes Albrecht. You need to speak to this fella. So you'll find him right at the bottom of this little room here. Go ahead and speak to him. And run through his dialogue options. And then choose option 4. Are you preparing to do anything? Then, is it completely necessary? And last but not least, can't you please tell me? Basically run through all of his dialogue options. Then say thanks. That's good. So once you finish your conversation with Johannes, you want to head back into this main central room, and on the south side and next to this little stand here is a trapdoor. In order to enter it, you need to bring Zanik to this little section here, so make sure he follows you and doesn't get stuck around the corner like you can see on screen now. All you need to do is simply move out so he can actually follow you into the central area, make your way roughly to here, and he'll start to speak to you and say, look, there's a secret trapdoor. Once he's done so, just right click right here, and you can go ahead and pick the pick lock option to open this trapdoor, and then make your way down inside. So once you're down here, it's a little bit of a mini game. It's nice and straightforward. To start off, just run up towards your north, and Zanik will eventually start talking to you. Run through his chat, and once you've done so, head straight to your west and run past this guard. At which point you'll have a little cutscene. Zanik will shoot him in the head. Job done. So the idea is you've got to knock out all the guards whilst you make your way through. so don't get spotted, otherwise you'll be knocked out and thrown back into the main area we just came from. So you want to go through the crack in the wall right in front of you here, and then over to the north, go through that one as well, once the guard in the corridor is walking to the east and can't see you. Once you've done so, speak to this western guard and knock him the fuck out. Then you'll have some dialogue options with Zanuck, and you want to wait until the guard once again is walking away to the east and choose option 1 now. That'll kill this corridor guard. Once he's down, you want to make your way through this corridor and stop right at the end without going into the next little corridor where the guards are watching. Speak to Zanuck and say wait here. Once you've told him to wait, run down towards the south, and the guard will spot you and then start to follow, but before he catches you, Zanuck will shoot him in the head. Because Zanuck's a badass. So once he's down, it's now time to take out the final one. Make your way to the north, don't run all the way up, and stop right on the corner, otherwise you will get caught. Once you're here, once again, talk to Zanuck, tell him to wait here, and he will wait in ambush. Once you've done so, you want to run to your south into this corridor once again, make your way around to the northwest corner, and as soon as you are here, just pop your head out, the guard will spot you, and Zanuck will finish him off. And that is it, all the guards are down. Once that's done, just simply click on this door, and you'll have a little cutscene with you and Zanuck trying to listen in on their conversation. And eventually get spotted and knocked the fuck out. But once you are awake, you will appear in the jail in the main central area. Just simply talk to this blokey right here. Run through his chat and he'll tell you that Zanuck's been carried off somewhere. Once you have that, right click on the north section of this fence and pick lock in order to get out of jail. This will either happen instantly, or as you can see, take a while. Once you're free of the jail, make your way out of the Hamm hideout, so go to the northwestern corridor, and climb up those stairs to exit back on to the overworld. Once you reappear, you'll have a short little cutscene, and you'll be like, "Where's Zanuck? Oh my god." You'll find Zanuck literally a touch to your south. He's hiding underneath this first tree right by here. And when I say hiding, he's actually dead and is a corpse. Unfortunately, a goblin died once again in Runescape. Run through all of his chat and you'll pick up his corpse. With the corpse in hand, it's now time to revive him. So make your way down to Juna, which you'll find in the Lumbridge Swamp Dungeon. If you've entered here before, then you don't need your rope for this bit, but if you haven't, you will need your rope. This is also the section where that spiny helm would be kind of useful, but at the same time kind of not, as you have hands that will attack you through walls occasionally as you run through. They do about 700-ish damage, give or take, so it's easy enough to survive if you have a bit of food on you. Either way, run southwest of the Lumbridge Castle, make your way down to this little area by here, and you will find the entrance to the Lumbridge Swamp Dungeon. It's this giant ass tree here. Go ahead and use your rope in it if you haven't been in here before. If you have, just simply click on it to enter. So once you're inside this dungeon, you now need to make your way over to Juna. She is found in the southeastern corner of this little cave, so literally keep clicking towards your southeast. If you don't have the spiny helm, as you can see, you'll randomly get hurt by those hands that come out of walls. Nonetheless, it's literally constantly keep clicking to your southeast, and you will run into where we need to go. So once you've run southeast, you'll come across this little kind of outcrop area where you're surrounded by walls. Go ahead and run through this little section. And then make your way towards your east. And right here you will find a stone you can jump across right at the end of this pathway. And you'll see some giant frogs and stuff on the southern section of this little island. Go ahead and make your way over it, and then the south side will be a cave entrance. Make your way in, and you're now in Juna's cave. Make your way to the east, and you will find that giant ass snake we seen in that cutscene just a little bit earlier on. At this point you want to unequip any weapons you have, as you need your hands to be empty for this section. Go ahead and talk to Juna, and you'll tell her the Zanek's dead, and she'll be like, nah, no problems brah, I got you. And then she'll lay you into tears of Guthix. At which point you will now be in this little cave with a bowl in your hands. You need to siphon off the blue streams that are coming down all the walls. They are random. You'll have green and blue ones. If you siphon off the green ones, it'll reduce the amount of tears you collect, and if you siphon off the blues, you will gain tears. So with your hands empty, speak to Juna, make your way inside, and begin the Tears of Guthix minigame. So just click on any of the blue streams coming down the walls, and as soon as you collect, I believe it's 20 tears, which is neither here nor there, take you a couple of seconds, you will automatically walk out and start a conversation with Juna and have another cutscene. So siphon the blues and run away from the greens. And here is your cutscene. So finally, once that cutscene is over, you will be in control once again, and it's time to move on to the final section, which is the fight against Sigmund and his little minions. You'll be fighting Sigmund, which is level 42, and 3 guards at level 36, although Zanek will be fighting in this fight as well. She uses range, and Sigmund will protect against range throughout the entirety of the fight, hence you need melee or mage weapons for this one. So go ahead and home port, and you can make your way to the bank and get your stuff out if you don't have it already. Get some food, your melee or mage gear. You'll also need your set of ham robes, as you'll need to wear them in order to enter. And as soon as you're ready, head back to Lumbridge, make your way down into the cellar, as we need to pick up Zanek once again before we can finish off this quest. So once you're fully prepared, you have your ham robes, and some food, and melee or mage. Make your way to the Lumbridge cellar and talk to Zanek. Choose Let's Go, and she'll start to follow you once again. So with Zanek in tow, it's time to go to this boss fight. Make your way outside of Lumbridge and head up to the chicken coop just to the northeast of Lumbridge. It's opposite the cow farm. So make your way up, cross the second bridge, and just a touch north, you'll find the chicken farm. So across this secondary bridge, past the ham hideout, follow this path up north just for a second or two, and you'll see this little chicken farm on your west side. Go ahead and enter the southern section, where you'll see a ham-robed blokey wandering about and a dwarf. Go ahead and talk to the little fella. Choose option 1, what's in the crate, son? Run through his chat, then choose why are you helping the ham? And where's Sigmund? And finally, okay. Once you've done that, go ahead and speak to Zanek. Run through his chat and choose option 1, how can we get in there? Then click on any of the crates to your south, and Zanek will talk to you once again. Run through his chat, choose option 1, I don't know, what are you thinking? Good idea. And then Zanek will jump in, pick up that crate Zanek's hiding in, and literally just to your north on the south side of the wall is a little trapdoor leading to the cellar. Go ahead and make your way inside. And now it is time for the boss fight. So directly west of you is Sigmund and his 3 little guards. Go ahead and equip your gear if you haven't already. And run in there, guns blazing. Because you crazy. Kill all the guards. Zanik will join in too. She'll start firing off some shots. Finish off the guards first. It'll make your life a hell of a lot easier. Otherwise, Sigmund will just protection proof whatever combat style you are currently using. So once all 3 guards are dead, turn your attention over to Sigmund. And if for whatever reason Zanik walks off, like you just saw on screen there, make your way over towards her and she'll start to attack as well. So it may take a few seconds, but eventually Sigmund will switch his prey protection back over to range from Zanik, at which point your melee or mage damage will go through and job done. Once they're all dead, in the center of this room is some dodgy machine. Go ahead and click on it to destroy it. Once that has exploded everywhere, make your way south inside this little cave system and then exit out of the southern side. And that, ladies and gents, is the end of the quest. Job did it. That is your goblin quest done. Death to the Dorgeshuun complete. Nice one. So for completing this, you gain 1 quest point, 2k thieving and 2k ranged XP, access to the hamm storerooms where you can loot some more items. It's kind of trash, to be honest. You also gain access to Dorgeshuun, the Dorgeshuun goblin city, and you also gain access to their southern dungeon and a route to the Calphite lair from there. Additionally, their agility stuff. You also gain access to the watermill tunnel. That will appear there and you'll be able to just right click and travel between Lumbridge Castle and the cellar. You also gain your 2 treasure hunter keys and your 2 hearts of ice. Happy days. So that's it then, people. Congratulations. Until next time, I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.